So a lot of people are griping that Austin has changed. Austin's not what it used to be. And really, people have been saying that for decades now, so this isn't really anything new. But if you are looking for that old-time Austin vibe, I'm going to tell you how you can get it without jumping into a DeLorean and traveling back to 1955. I'm talking about buying a home and moving to Bastrop. So Bastrop is located about 30 miles southeast of Austin, and it's considered part of the greater Austin metropolitan area. It's known as the most historic small town in Texas because it has over 130 designated historical sites. And it's really funny. I feel like Bastrop was really kind of a slept-on town until earlier this year. I literally had 5 people reach out to me in 1 week asking me about Bastrop and if it's somewhere that they should consider. And I really got into it, and I found out Bastrop is actually really cool. So today we're going to talk about pros and cons of Bastrop. By the way, my name is Tiffany Moore with Rise and Shine Realty. I put out videos every single week showcasing the market here in Austin, Texas. So if you want to make sure to stay on top of what's going on in the current market, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Also, if you want to get my free guide on how to buy your first home in Austin, comment below and I will send you the link. Pro number 1, quality of life. So Bastrop was recognized in 2019 by the American Planning Association as one of the best places to live in Texas. It's basically got everything you're looking for when you want a nice place to live. Safe neighborhoods, beautiful surroundings, nice housing. It really has this mom and pop vibe to it, and folks that live here are looking to stay under the radar and out of the city life that Austin has become known for. There are restaurants, breweries, distilleries, wineries, bars and restaurants on the water, and bakeries tucked into little corners downtown. And live music is a really big part of life here too, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. So pro number 2 is cost of living, and this is a really big one. When you compare the cost of living in Austin proper to Bastrop, Bastrop is a really affordable option. So in June of 2022, the median home sales price in Travis County, which is where Austin is located, was $611,000, and this was a 10% increase from June of last year. For the same month, for June of this year, the median sales price in Bastrop County, where Bastrop is located, was $420,000. So $190,000 difference between the median sales price from Travis County to Bastrop County. And the crazy thing is, this 420 is an increase from June of last year by 29%. So Bastrop is really similar to Kyle as far as cost of living. It's below average in all categories except for transportation, which is 25% higher than the rest of the country. So the overall cost of living for Bastrop is just at the national average. A huge improvement from Austin, which is about 20% higher than the national average, mostly due to the high cost of housing. Pro number 3, outdoor activities. So known as the heart of the Lost Pines, the city of Bastrop is famous for its beautiful outdoor views. So some of these are the revitalized Bastrop State Park, where you can see the famous loblolly pine trees or lost pines. These trees are unique to Texas Lost Pines Forest. The park covers nearly 6,000 acres where you can canoe, swim, and hike, all the fun stuff. There's also McKinney Ruffs Nature Park, which is an 1,100 acre park along the Colorado River with a trail system of up to 18 miles of trails for hikers, mountain bikers, horseback riders. Yes, we're in Texas. There are horseback riders on all the trails, so watch out. The El Camino Real paddling trail is a 6-mile trail on the lake that will take you about 1.5 to 4 hours, depending on how much time you spend fishing, hanging out in the water, or kind of how good you are at paddling and kayaking. So pro number 4 is it has a small town feel. If you're looking for a place to live near Austin that has a quieter type of living, Bastrop is a really good choice. So Bastrop's population is less than 10,000 people, and it's about 45 minutes from Austin. So it definitely gives off a quaint, small town vibe that a lot of people who are moving to Austin or honestly moving away from Austin enjoy. So for those of you who see this as a con, something to keep in mind is that Bastrop is growing. It's definitely an up and coming town. It's grown by 30% in the last 8 years with a lot more development coming. Remember I said that I had 4 homes under contract all at the same time in Bastrop? They were all new construction, and 3 of them were in the same neighborhood, the Colony. So the Colony is a huge development in Bastrop with multiple pools, amenity centers. It already has a middle school, and they're planning to build an elementary school in the community as well. The Colony is just off the main highway that takes you to Bastrop from Austin, but the neighborhood is tucked away so you don't hear any road noise or ruckus or anything like that. Remember we said that the prices in Bastrop were way lower than in Austin, but from June to 2021 till 2022, median prices increased by 30%, which is crazy. There's a lot of opportunity in Bastrop and tons of growth happening here. Pro number 5 is the proximity to Austin. So if you don't go down to Austin a lot, if nightlife isn't your thing, but you want to be close enough to visit now and then you should be close enough in Bastrop. So for a lot of folks who like spending the majority of their time in the suburbs, living the quiet life, this might be just what you're looking for. Bastrop does have a really cool old downtown area. They have breweries and distilleries there, all kinds of shops. It's kind of similar to the square in Georgetown, but I don't think that you can walk around with an open container in Bastrop. Side note, you can in Georgetown. So if you hadn't seen my video about Georgetown, check that out right here. Grab a beer, grab a glass of wine, and just walk around downtown. It's a lot of fun. So now let's talk about some of the cons of living in Bastrop. Con number 1, lack of fun things to do. So Bastrop does have a lot of things to do. I just mentioned it's got a really cute downtown area and lots of outdoor stuff, some breweries and bars and restaurants, but these are just limited due to the town being so small. But if you are looking to get into live music scene, going to big events and the festivals, for that, you're gonna have to go to Austin. This one really just depends on your perspective and what you like to do. But if the Austin type stuff is your jam, this could be a really big con for you. I kind of think of Bastrop as like what Austin used to feel like. It's kind of like a mini older Austin. It definitely has a small town vibe, and there is live music here. They do have an annual live music festival, and it's still kind of boho. I would compare Bastrop to Lockhart as far as like the small town feeling. That also has some Austin-y flair to it. Con number 2 is job opportunities. So again, Bastrop is a small town. It's got a population of 10,000 people. With that small population, there just aren't going to be a whole lot of jobs available. The largest employer in town is the Hyatt Regency Lost Pines Resort and Spa, which may or may not be somewhere that you want to work, but you will definitely want to check it out while you're there. Side note, it is gorgeous. They have a lazy river running through the property. You can go hiking and horseback trail riding. It really is like a nice getaway just away from the city. It's gorgeous. So back to the employment. With few employment opportunities, this means you're likely to have to drive to Austin for work, unless you have a job working from home or something along those lines. You'll definitely need to think about commuting time if you're thinking about buying a home in Bastrop and working in Austin. Of my 4 clients who bought homes here, 1 relocated down here from Michigan and he works in Tesla. Bastrop is on the east side of Austin, so it's a pretty easy commute to the Tesla Gigafactory. The others work remotely, 100%. So they wanted to live close to Austin, but they didn't want to pay the Austin price tag. They also wanted to be somewhere a little bit quieter than Austin. Con number 3 is proximity to Austin. So I know I listed this as a pro, but really a lot of the cons and pros are depending on your perspective and the lifestyle that you want to live. The con part is if you want to go downtown a lot, if you want to hang out, go to shows, go to the museums, Bastrop is a long drive, and you might find yourself just like not going to Austin, kind of saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with the traffic, I don't want to deal with the commute, I'm just going to hang out here. And like we said, there's still some really cool stuff to do in Bastrop, so it's not really like you're missing out or you're going to be sitting at home, with Blockbuster all night. But during peak hours, getting from downtown Austin to Bastrop can be an hour drive, if not more, depending on traffic, construction, all those things. So if hanging out in Austin is a big priority for you, Bastrop may not be a very good choice. The 4th con is traffic. So Austin roads were not built to handle the amount of cars that it now has, which has led to constant traffic issues that Austin and the surrounding areas are trying to deal with. So with Bastrop being a little further out from Austin than other towns, you might find yourself on the road a lot, and that's going to mean more time stuck in traffic. So you can expect long travel times, especially in the morning or afternoon, like typical rush hour times. Con number 5, Bastrop has got like a so-so school system. The Bastrop ISD received an overall rating of C by the Texas Education Agency in 2018, which means acceptable performance. Now, acceptable isn't bad, but when you compare to some of the other suburbs like Round Rock and Leander, which have excellent school ratings, Bastrop falls a little short. I mean, think about if your kid came home with a C. Would you be very excited about that? So this may not be a big deal if you don't have kids, but even if you don't, school system rankings do affect your home value. So if you decide to sell your home at some point, this may be a factor to consider. Now, I talked in another video that school rankings affect home value. I want to give this a caveat and just say this mostly applies to the suburb area. So the city of Austin is the most expensive area in the area when you talk about price per square foot. And just like any other inner city town, the schools there are not awesome. So something to keep in mind when we talk about like the schools directly affecting the property value or the appreciation of the property, we're really talking about like suburb areas like Lakeway and Cedar Park and Bastrop. But really when we're talking about inner city, the demand alone is going to drive those prices up versus the school zones. So if you're thinking about moving to Austin, but you're not really sure where to look, check out this video about Georgetown. Remember, you can walk around the square with an open container in Georgetown, so that's a lot of fun. It has a really similar vibe to Bastrop, and you may like it. And if you have questions about moving to Austin, reach out to me. My contact info is below.